Everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Donnelly. I'm an expert in distilled spirits with 9 years experience in the alcoholic beverage industry, and my goal is to educate consumers more about the alcoholic beverages they enjoy so they can make better shopping and drinking decisions. The goal of today's video is to answer one question. Does the best $60 bottle of bourbon come from not Kentucky, not Tennessee, and not Indiana, but in fact the state of Missouri? Because today we're talking about Ben Holladay bourbon. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into the final two labels. And that is going to be the Rickhouse proof of the original Ben Holladay. You can see all the same information. Embossing on the back. Again, same bottle style, same label. The only difference, instead of black, it's red. And that's how you know this is the barrel proof expression. Originally, this was distillery only, but now it's available pretty consistently in my home market. And again, we talked through earlier the production details behind this product when I covered the flagship Ben Holladay. The only difference is the bottling proof. So instead of being bottled at 100 proof, this particular batch that I have is bottled at 120.1 proof or 60.05% ABV. And again, you can see Warehouse C, Missouri DSP number 5, and then you can see that percentage of barrels, what percentage came from what floor, which I just think is so cool. The bottle I have was distilled fall of 2016 and was bottled August 17, 2023. Again, same 6-year age statement, same everything. Only difference, bottling proof. Got a brand new bottle here. Let's try it. If my mouth wasn't warmed up to the 100 proof bourbon, it's definitely going to be warmed up by this 120 proof bourbon. Beautiful color, 6-year age statement, 120 proof. I think 120, I drink a lot of high proof bourbon, right? I typically don't drink anything under 100 proof. And for me, 120 is a nice sweet spot. When you start getting to 130 and plus, that kind of hazmat territory, it really just, it just eviscerates your palate, right? You really can't get the level of flavor. It's fun because you can dilute it down to what you want. You can dilute it down to 125, 120, 115 by adding water, by adding ice. But for me, 120 is a nice sweet spot where you get all the benefits of flavor and concentration of cask strength or barrel proof bourbon. But it's not quite into that hazmat territory that just eviscerates your palate. All right. Ooh, it's got an even bigger nose, higher bottling proof. Absolutely should not be a surprise. Oh God, that's such a good nose. And I always try to keep my mouth open when I smell, so that way, the alcohol does not interfere with the flavors. But even at 120 proof, the smell on this is beautiful. All right, first sip. And I'm going to take a very small sip, let my mouth acclimate to that 120 proof, and then on that second sip, I should be getting a lot more flavor. Small baby sip, let my mouth warm up. God, for 120 proof, that's soft. There's a little pop, and you can feel that alcohol. This drinks almost like a lot of 100 proof bourbon. All right, let's revisit this. Ton of flavor. Ton of flavor. That's a big bourbon. Just packs a punch of flavor. And when I say packs a punch, I mean in a good way. This is just a big wave of flavor. And then as it starts to finish, it's got a long, long finish. I mean, the flavors of this coat every inch of your palate. It feels really viscous, like you could chew it, even more so than the 100 proof options, which should be no surprise. And it's a little boozy, but that booze fades kind of quickly and you get the flavor. And there's that higher degree of concentration with that higher proof. You know, with additional proof comes additional flavor. And that flavor just really hangs on the palate. And hangs in a good way where, I mean, it stays with you, you know, and that's how you know this is a well-made product, when that flavor doesn't just disappear. I mean, it hangs around. It's got a strength and a very specific identity to it. So this is really tasty. And if the 120 proof kind of scared you, I bet this over a big rock, or even with a couple drops of Kentucky spring water, then, you know, this would open up really nicely. And, you know, after a minute, it would just be beautiful. I'm drinking all these straight with no added water to get the most pure flavors. But I bet this with a little bit of water or a big rock would be really enjoyable. So let's talk pricing. So my home market, the what do they call this? The Rickhouse proof. In my home market, the Rickhouse proof for both labels is going to be between $72 and $78. So you're jumping from $58 to $62 to $72 to $78. So mid 70s. Do I think this product's worth the money? I'm going to plant my flag in the ground and say I think this product is worth the money. I think if you're a serious bourbon drinker and you say 100 proof bottle and bond, that's not enough for me. I want non-chill filtered barrel strength at 120 proof. Then for me, mid 70s, between 72 and 78, this product is definitely worth the money, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think the only thing that customers might knock is when you start getting to the mid 70s, they expect a certain flair in packaging, right? A lot of customers want not just incredible juice in the bottle, but they want something flashy that looks cool on their back bar. And I mean, the packaging on this is just really clean. It's really simple. It's really straightforward. It's built for function, not necessarily for style. I mean, I think there's a certain beauty in that kind of just functionality. And for me, I really prefer the style style of packaging. But other customers might think for $75, I'm getting a super basic packaging. They might not like that, but I think this is where you really have to rely on the history, the backstory, and the quality of the juice in the bottle. Because again, what you're getting with this is a 6-year-old age statement, cast strength, non-chill filtered bourbon that is produced grain to glass by a small producer. And for me, I think that's worth $75. All right, last product is the Rickhouse proof wheated. So again, same label as the regular soft red wheat, but the red label lets you know it's Rickhouse proof. Let's see if my camera will focus on this. Here is your production details. Sorry, here is your bottling details. Same embossing on the back. Brian, here is your thumbnail picture. And again, I got a brand new bottle here. Easy screw off cap. Again, not flashy, built for function. Didn't spill anything, which is a shocker, and didn't knock over my microphone. Let's look at that color. This has just got such a beautiful color. I think the camera does pick it up, but it's a dark, beautiful color that you expect from a bourbon at this proof and of this age statement. So again, we're getting into the barrel strength soft red wheat. Ooh, wow. That's got a really nice nose. And remember I said you could, if you smell enough bourbon, you can tell the difference between a rye, especially a high rye bourbon, and a wheated bourbon. Well, because of the added proof and that kind of punch of extra flavor that you get with that additional proof, the fact that this is a wheated bourbon really jumps out of the glass, especially compared to the 100 proof option. So you smell this. It doesn't have quite as big a nose as I think the traditional bourbon mash bill, but you can tell it's a wheated, and it's got a bigger punch than the 100 proof soft red wheat. So let's give it our first sip. So before I give it our first sip, let's look at the bottling proof. So the bottle I have is bottled August 2023, Rickhouse C, distilled in spring of 2017. This is actually bottled from 100% barrels sourced from the fourth floor, and is bottled exactly at 120 proof for 60% ABV. Cheers. Let's taste the first sip. Small first sip, and then bigger second sip. Oh, that is no joke. That is soft. I would say the alcohol feels softer. Maybe it's just because I've now drank 4 bourbons, all 100 proof or more. But there's basically, for 120 proof, the alcohol is non-existent on this. And you get this really beautiful, soft, stereotypical wheated bourbon flavor that is really enjoyable, especially if that's your desired flavor profile. Even me, I'm a skeptic when it comes to wheated bourbon. And this is really nice. This drinks really nicely. All right, I can't wait. Let me try it again. There is good flavor on this, but there's that softness. There's that stereotypical wheated character that really shines on this. And still big flavor, still coats your whole palate, but it's a very different flavor profile. I would say that it's still got that long finish, similar kind of intensity on the palate and length of finish as the regular Ben Holladay Rickhouse proof. But again, just that wheated flavor profile, that 15% wheat versus 15% rye is very different. And I would say it's magnified by the additional proof. I mean, all the differences, all the nuances that I pointed out at the normal 100 proof bottling are magnified at 120 proof. Because, again, a higher proof does not just mean more alcohol. With additional alcohol and distilled spirits comes concentration of flavor. So there's going to be a big difference in concentration of flavor at 120 proof versus 100 proof. Same, if you drank an 80 proof bourbon versus a 100 proof bourbon, that difference in flavor is really noticeable. And it's more than just alcohol, because with additional alcohol comes additional flavor. So again, this is super tasty. Even me, I'm a wheated bourbon skeptic. My friends say I'm a wheated bourbon hater. Man, this is good. I mean, 120 proof, it drinks this soft and easy. I mean, I'm sure this, when you open it up with a little, a big rock, or, when you open this up with a big ice cube or a few drops of water, especially spring water, this would just be beautiful. But even, you could drink this neat at 120 proof out of a Glencairn, no problem. Ton of flavor, super soft, for your real bourbon connoisseur, especially if you're a wheated bourbon connoisseur, this product is just going to be perfect. And it's just really beautiful. So I'm a huge fan, as you can tell from all 4 labels. I think each label offers something slightly different. And there's a surprising degree of diversity of products and diversity of target drinkers between these 4 products. So a little something for everyone. So, again, we're going back to the question, is this product worth the money? So both of the Rickhouse proofs in my home market are line price. So the Rickhouse proof for soft red wheat is also 72 to 78. So we're jumping again from 58 to 62 to 72 to 78. Is this product worth, call it mid 70s? I still think it is. I think there's so much flavor here. I think that jump in proof makes such a big difference that it's worth that extra $10 to $15. And if you are a wheated bourbon purist, this product really drinks beautifully. And so I look forward to, I've already done way too much talking today in this video. So I look forward to, in a future video, perhaps doing some comparison tastings between some, different bottled and bond bourbons, some different wheated bourbons. I think that would be really fun to kind of pit these against products that are similar in terms of flavor profile and price point. that are similar in terms of mash bill and price point, I think that would be really cool. So again, thank you so much for watching. I know this video kind of ran long. I originally filmed a video talking about the Ben Holladay brand where I talked about the history and the production and some of the details, but I didn't do any tasting. So where this product evolved for me is being able to taste these 4 products back to back to back and really look at the price and let you guys know, based off the quality of the liquid and the glass, are these products worth the money? And I would say if you have the money to spend on super premium bourbon, no questions asked, all 4 of these products are worth the money, and they're all going to cater to somebody slightly different. So thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you even learned something. Please give this video a like and consider subscribing. If you do not care about the video component of these brand education and tasting videos, please consider subscribing to my podcast. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcasts. Also, if you would like to support this channel further, please consider becoming a Patreon member or gift me a cocktail through the link below in the description. Thank you so much again for your support. If you would like to be notified whenever I have new content on my website or this YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to my email newsletter. I'll leave a link below in the description. And if you have feedback or recommendations for this channel, please leave me a comment. Or if you'd like to have a more in-depth conversation, please shoot me an email. I personally read all the emails I receive, and I do my best to reply to all of them. So if you have any recommendations for the channel, leave me a comment. Or if you want to have a more in-depth conversation, shoot me an email. Thank you so much again for watching, and as always, please drink responsibly. Cheers.